Good afternoon, good evening, and perhaps even good morning. Thank you so much for dropping by and joining me for another exciting, well, what should we call it? Kind of a working session with Unreal Engine. I'm looking forward to it. It's a bit of a kind of an experiment that I'm trying to do, so I hope I can remember it and rely on my own articles that I've written there. Wonderful to see you all, Christina. That is great. I'm so glad to hear that you've had a good day, and all the better that you can join me. Mr. Rod, Mrs. Joe, if I can call you Mrs. Joe, very, very good to see you. And anyone else who's out there watching, welcome, welcome, welcome. I've had a very successful morning playing with Clo. In fact, Clo and Marvelous Designer. I still have both of these things running. And I don't know, it's just, there's something about Clo that I like better than Marvelous Designer. So this morning I've made, let me show you the pictures of that. I've just posted them on my ArtStation account, but they are here somewhere in this folder. There we go. This is my baggy shirt. I've made this in Clo this morning. I'm super happy about it, and it was something I've been following along Travis's tutorial, and perhaps actually maybe I can just go and show you the actual project in Clo. This is the back side. Yes, let's have a look at the whole project in Clo just to show you what I've made there. And then I'll show you a 360, actually it's 360 animation. That is here somewhere, isn't it? Somewhere. That's it. See if we can see that. There we go. Yeah, 360 little turntable animation. Mighty proud of that. I mean, considering that I don't... Oh, come on. Play this over and over. Repeat. There we go. Considering that I don't really know that much about this software, I'm pretty happy about it. How the cloth drapes and the fact that I've been able to make sleeves like that, and it's just, you know, all thanks to Laurie and Travis who've all been doing amazing tutorials about that. Thank you. And this is made with materials that I've bought from Travis. I don't really have many clothing tiles, so he has some on his Gumroad store. I bought them, and that's quite nice to get the cloth look going. And of course, in Clo we have support for substance materials, which may or may not be coming to Marvelous Designer 10. So it's kind of cool. I love this integrated render engine in Clo. I got to tell you, this is a major benefit that Marvelous Designer doesn't have. So for me to share something like what I've just shown you is a major headache to take that out of Marvelous Designer, put it into something else, reset up materials, reset up lighting and all that. For me, that's just time I don't necessarily want to spend. So I'm happy to... Oh, still loading. I'm happy that Clo has that integrated. So I'm considering... Tell me what you think about this, Christina. I'm considering upgrading to Marvelous Designer 9.5 anyway, so that I get to keep my perpetual license. But then, check it out, not upgrading to Marvelous Designer 10, and instead using the 50% off offer from Clo. And then literally not just have the new features in Marvelous Designer, but have the new features from Clo, and then just work with that. Yeah, so I started this in Marvelous Designer, and then I brought it over to Clo, and it seems to be working just fine. Yeah, so one of those things. It is, isn't it? Because that means I don't just have the new features of Marvelous Designer. I'm literally ahead, and that's just wonderful. This is the pattern, and this is extremely simple, really. It's started with kind of a half pattern like this, and then I've unfolded it, added some curvature here, used the internal line feature to cut my seams off, add a bit of a feature in here on the side, like this little cut here. And other than that, it's just it was extremely fun to do. I mean, including the collar, which I had no idea how to really do that. And then of course also very exciting for me are features like the top stitch that we can see here. That is just super nice the way we can do that. That used to be a major headache. I remember in Marvelous Designer 4 and 5 there were all kinds of hacks around, and I think 7 was the first version that had this kind of stitching feature, and you can just pick any kind of stitch that you want, and I can't wait to do more with it. It's just so exciting. I think I used my it's an avatar, wasn't it? Was there somewhere like hide and show avatar? Where was that again? You'd imagine it's under the avatar menu, but I might... I don't actually remember. I don't think you did, Christina. Drop it on the Discord or here. That'd be great. Daniel, I'd love to check him out. I don't remember where you hide and show the avatar. Was it under display maybe? Avatar, there we go. And show avatar. No, that wasn't it. Sorry. These are things I don't often use. Show avatar there. Maybe it takes a moment for it to show up. Oh, avatar's gone. That's okay. It was a Genesis 8 male character. Shift A. Shift A. And there's also the arrangement points, which interestingly I found a little bug out today. I thought I'm going to show you this actually before we get started with Unreal. So with arrangements points gone, Marvelous Designer can import an avatar and add arrangements points automatically. So can Clo, but if I try it in Clo, it will tell me the figure needs to be in an A pose and it can't do it. Whereas Marvelous Designer, same geometry, I'm importing that. Arrangements points just happen, no worries. Hey, Mr. Chris, welcome, wonderful to see you. I thought I'd show you my efforts in Clo this morning, Clo/Marvelous Designer. I've been using both apps for that. Yeah, so it's an interesting one. If I go and start a new project and just get rid of him. I have a new keyboard, by the way, as well. It's no longer a dumpster keyboard. It's a different one. So I hope it's going to treat us a little bit better. So import OBJ, Genesis 8 male here. I'll just go and open him up. And dialog comes up in which I'm saying, open as avatar, automatically add arrangement points. And the scale, well, I suppose it's centimeters, isn't it? I should really do that. And say, okay. And it loads the OBJ file, so it will load the avatar. Interesting. Now the error message doesn't happen because I'm showing you this. This morning I tried this a couple of times and it didn't work. How interesting. And yes, he now has arrangement points. But I was only able to do this in Marvelous Designer and not in Clo. One of those things. Interesting. Yeah, this morning I got this error message. So, interesting. Yes, I've got it here still with me. So I've ordered a new cable that brings the receiver a little bit closer to me here. It might be that, but yeah, today I'm trying this keyboard here. It's also Logitech, and it's just when I hit the wrong buttons, that is one of those things that, yeah. Shame about that. Oh, actually, Chris, this might be interesting for you. Sorry, let me just open this up again. I'm so sorry. There's something, I don't know if you've seen this, and I've just said to Christina, I'm considering getting the subscription to this with the 50% off deal instead of upgrading Marvelous Designer, because there's a couple of other funky things that that's exciting, Chris, that Marvelous Designer doesn't have. And one of them that I find really useful is that render feature. And I don't know if you've seen that, but I can totally show you how that works. It's a really nice integration here. Just once it's done. I've made something else. Maybe I can load that up and show you that. That is my baseball cap project. That is also very exciting. Let me load that in. Yes, that was another one I did. That is maybe under the baseball cap V4. That should be the latest version. See what that looks like. I've made that, I think, last week. Yeah, there we go. Baseball cap. Oops. Not that easy to navigate on a trackball. Also, maybe I should use something like a darker background. I can't quite remember how I do that either. That's probably also under somewhere. It doesn't matter. The render feature. So this is, I've made this as well. Very, very proud of that. With the cutout and the denim material. These are actually substance materials here, I think. That's very, very exciting. I had a lot of fun doing that. And this, I think, is light because that is frozen. I think I had to make sure that the cap doesn't fall into his face. I put a box underneath it so that it doesn't fall down. That's quite nice as well. Yes, that's right. Exactly. This was what I posted beforehand on Rendo Rod. Exactly. So Chris, this is exciting. There's this thing up here called render. So there's two things you can do. One is that you can enable a quality render, and that'll give you a slightly better preview in the window here in real time. So it's not dramatically better, but it certainly looks a bit better. There's also a shortcut here for that. I don't remember where that is. That versus that. So this is the difference. You get softer shadows, and it just looks a little bit nicer in real time. That's nice. It's still OpenGL, I believe. But the real super exciting thing is also here under render. You can turn this window here, the pattern window, into an iRay window. Ha ha ha! And that is seriously cool. So click this thing to start the interactive renderer. And this is a bit like the iRay shaded viewport in DAZ Studio. So it kind of adjusts as you adjust the camera. Also has a nice background now that I've added there. And you can see that it kind of gets better over time. And if I update my camera, it does this, this typical what iRay does in there. But then you can go ahead and literally stop this and render a high-res image out of it. And for me, that is unbelievable, because all the materials and all their properties, you don't have to futz with maps and make sure you reset up the material and everything in another app. So that's something I find really, really cool. And not just a still image that you can make. You can also, I think that's here under this thing. This is kind of a render property here. If you go over here, I think, if you can see that, yeah, just about, you can either render an image, or you can just quickly make a turntable out of that. So you just say turntable, how many images would you like? Maybe 180 for a full 360-degree thing, and then you just walk away, have a cup of coffee, and within 10-15 minutes it just renders you this thing out. And I find that amazing, because then that makes things like that. And that is cool without having to bring this into another app. You can just literally just go and let it roll, and then you combine the images in Photoshop later, whatever resolution you want. Look at the stitch work. I'm loving this. This is really cool. It is sweet, isn't it? And I'm thinking, Chris, maybe I'll just forego the Marvelous Designer 10 upgrade and just keep my perpetual license until, I don't know, 2 versions from now, or 1 version from now, for 11 or for 12 or whatever. And in the meantime, I'll just go subscribe to Clo. Less money, more features. Interesting approach. Yes, Rod, you can do that. I haven't tried it. Really, I mean, I have tried it, but it's agonizing for me. There's things. Yes, actually, yes, Chris, you're right. There's things that I can bring these into DAZ Studio, but I'm not entirely sure how the maps, what settings I need to use for the maps to come out of Marvelous Designer properly. And then, of course, there's the fitting, like for my shirt here, which I've made today in Clo, which I'm super proud of, really. Very nice. Look at the stitch work. It's super awesome. The folds, and it's just unbelievable. I'm having lots of fun using that app. So, yeah, I'm just excited by this principle. I'm thinking, yeah, maybe I should do that. With more features. We'll see what Marvelous Designer 10 brings. But yeah, substance material integration, that is something. Oh, Chris, while we're here, maybe we'll show you that as well. Ha! Very good, Christina. I like it. This is also something that Marvelous Designer in version 9 currently doesn't have. If we go to a material here, at the bottom here, you can see what type of material I want to use for that. I can either use a PBR material, which is then texture, normal map, displacement map, and so forth, roughness map, or you can literally just go enable substance, and then it's literally just browse to a substance material. Let me see if I have one handy here. And then you don't have to apply the maps, and you just take on all the properties of the substance material. Is it here? Could be. Don't ask me which ones these are here, but any of these. So I don't know, I'll use this one here. Substance material, boom. That takes a little bit of time to show its effect. But you know, it does work, so I'm extremely happy about that. It doesn't have a it doesn't? Good point, doesn't it? It certainly has options that I can bring in all these types of maps, so it does have that. But yeah, proper PBR, I don't think, I'm not sure if it has that. This is kind of cool, and then you can say, well, what resolution would you like to use? So you can pick a lower resolution if that's enough for you. But kind of cool, you don't have to then mess around with applying the maps, and this is all just kind of just all built in. There's other things here, I'm not entirely sure what that is. Go to the Substance source page. Oh my goodness. This is, what is that? Learn more about Substance. That's cool. And this is browse to the texture. This is dump it in the bin. And of course, there's another thing that I don't know much about. Christina probably can tell us more about this. But essentially, if you go up here, there's other options. So we have the UV editor. We don't have sculpting. And we don't have remeshing in Clo. Those are the only two things that I haven't found. But one way, check it out, colorway. As I said, I don't really know much about that. Rendering can be cancelled. That's cool. Colorway, as far as I understand it, is a way to set up variations of one product. So if I wanted to release this as one cap OBJ with 5 different textures, I'd add myself several colorways here, and they're then basically the same geometry, if I understand this correctly, with different material presets. And it's kind of awesome. You can change literally all the attributes of all these geometries, and it's kind of, you know, it's kind of awesome. Exactly. And then you do quick color variation, and for selling products you just go, well, I'll set this all up in one app, and I'm quite excited about that. You set this up in one app, and then you say, hey, this is my product with the variations. I can generate previews from that as well. That just let me have a look. I can share it with people and say, hey, these are the things I'm about to release. And then I would imagine, I'm kind of stuck at that part, you export it all and you have all these maps that you can then set up a new material with in Dash Studio, right? That's kind of how this works, right? I'm imagining. Indeed, and they can look completely different. So all these things combined, I'm thinking, man, they have extremely cool features that Marvelous Designer just doesn't have. So it's kind of interesting to browse through this. UV editor still here. Review, that's another one. I think bomb is something I don't think we're going to be using that. It's print layout. We don't have that either in Marvelous Designer. In case you want to print those patterns in real life, they just kind of they're all condensed with less stuff in the middle, so that they're most cloth efficient, I think. And you can print them out as a massive roll, including all the variations, I guess, or size variations. That's another thing that Clo does, but that is not something I know much about. But it's kind of cute. They give you, basically you have 2 printouts, one for this material and then one for that material. It's kind of cool to see where they've actually come from, you know. And Marvelous Designer is kind of just a little side project that has some of those features, but you think, oh man, this is how you think in this think in totally different terms. Yeah, me too. I like it too, Joe. Interesting, isn't it? Oh, grading. Yeah, so I haven't actually explored real, what's it called? Real Clo. What's the word for it? Clo tutorials. I'll show you another one that I've done in Clo. I think, is that on, where is that? That could be under videos. Was it in here? Yeah, there we go. This is a little runway animation that I've made, and this was also all rendered entirely in Clo. I was going to make this I was going to do this in Iray, but Iray, that took a long time to load because these were like 1,000 frames. So I'm just using the high quality renders. The background isn't great, but I was just super impressed. I made this as well. This was from Laurie's tutorial, and I love seeing the cloth, how the cloth behaves. It's just like, it's real. It's unbelievable. I really like that. And then I thought, because the renders are so fast, I just rendered several of these stages and then just did the cutaways in a video editor. super exciting. I thought, amazing. I'm glad you like it. And I think that, just to bring this to a close before we get started with Unreal Engine, I think what this is doing with me, to me, about me, is that I'm rediscovering the whole reason what is exciting about 3D. So oftentimes, if I delve into features and things don't go so well, 3D can be extremely frustrating. I'm sure we've all experienced that. And I've been experiencing 3D frustration for quite some time. And it's one of those things that I like to avoid. I like to do 3D because it's fun and exciting. And with Claw, or with Marvelous Designer, or the combination thereof, I'm really getting excited about making stuff again and just go play with it, roll with it, and see what comes out. And it's not about being productive. It's literally just about enjoy the process. So this is something I'm thinking that is, I like to use this as a barometer. And I think this is why I'm excited about it. I'm thinking, hey, excitement, 3D, woohoo, cool. Let's see what else can happen. Unreal Engine is already exciting enough, but it's also very, very difficult. Thank you, Rod. I'm glad you like it. Now, I'll let you pick the music for today. This, by the way, I'll come to this in a moment. Yesterday, we have listened to some smooth jazz. So we can either listen to some dreamy beats today, or we can listen to something that sounds like Haranoda. So either something like the dreamy beats type thing, like electronica, or smooth jazz. You're the master of that domain. Let me know. Exactly. Do you know, Christina? And that's the thing. That is why your video rang so true for me, because it had all these features that I'm seeing and using in Marvelous Designer as well. Curves, 3-point curves, and all that. It's all the same thing. It's just why I thought that was really exciting. Joe, I'm totally there with you. Let's crack on with some smooth jazz. These are all smooth jazz tracks. Let me know if it's too loud or too quiet. Hope this is working out. Yes, you're right. All this stuff is missing in Vanilla Blender. That is exactly right, yes. Rod's also with jazz. Awesome. Jazz, let's do this. Yes, I can totally relate to that. Level is fine. Excellent. Thank you, Christina. I can relate to that. You work on something for so long and then things crash. That is not fun. So, our Unreal Engine project, if you type !project into the chat, you will get a link to not just my Ko-fi page, but to a shop product that I've got here, that I've set up yesterday. And that is this one here, Polygon Western Demo. So I'm using this to add the nightly builds of what's coming out of this project that we're building here on Twitch. So you can go there and grab it for free, or you can give me $1 or $2. That's also cool, but you don't have to. And it will then present you with a download link for the Windows version of what we're making. It's about 200-300 megabytes in size. So you can go and download that and, have a look. Control S is your friend. Yes, I saw somebody who's making Unreal Engine tutorials, and he said he's a fan of switching off the autosave function because he says he wants to be the master of his own save button. And I was thinking, really? I can't have autosave save enough, because it's just that one time that I probably miss autosaving. There's a little bit of housekeeping that we need to do here. Where is it? Polygon, there we go. Polygon, Vikings, Western, there we go. The one with the thumbnail. Shows you everything by default. We want the one with the thumbnail. Sound up by 1, like my voice or the music. Sometimes when the music is too loud, it's it can get a little bit in the way. But I will do it. I will drop it up by a notch. Let me know if that's okay. If that's too loud, do let me know. So there's a really fine line if something's too loud. Music bed too loud, uncool. Music. We'll try. We'll try. So a little bit of housekeeping that I need to do, because we're kind of happy with the way the project is going so far. And I'll show you what I'd like to do. So we have all this. Whoops. Cable getting in the way. It's the keyboard working with us today. Hopefully it is. The other one was from the dumpster, so, you know, one of those things. So character selection works well. The pre-selected character lights up green. We've spent a lot of time and effort making that happen. I can change the outfits of each character. I can also change the skin tone of the character. Now that Unreal Engine has compiled the materials, that's cool. And I can go ahead and head over into a level, like the town level. There's this little delay here that could probably be... We can do something with a transition map, so that in between this and the next level, when the next level takes a little bit of time to load, especially if it hasn't been loaded before, there is something you can do. You can load a really quick level and let that animate until the next level is loaded. So now in this level, we've taken the character across. This seems to be all working really well, but right now I've only got a couple of static people standing in the way here. What I'd like to try today is to add AI behavior to these guys here. So not just 3, maybe I'll have like 10 or something, and I can probably have different guys here and different guys in the desert, and they'll walk around just in a really just simple behavior. They're going to look around, find a point in their radius that they can reach. They're going to turn towards it, and then they walk there in a random speed. This is a little bit advanced, so I don't really remember if I can remember this or not. But you know, let's puzzle our way through it. It'll be fun, and it'll be major exciting if I can make that happen. I'm seeing that my keyboard is also not as reactive as I wanted it to be, so I'm hoping that when this cable comes tomorrow, it'll just move that receiver a little bit closer to here. So I think the dumpster keyboard is actually doing okay. It's just that the receiver is a little bit too far away. So a little bit of interference. Yeah, now I can't walk forward here. It's a bit of a shame. So I hope those issues will be solved tomorrow. So, housekeeping then. Let's make sure everything is saved. Version controlled, if there is anything to, yeah, there we go. What shall we call it? Finished gamepad implementation. There we go. I'm going to close this down again, because I've had issues before if I wanted to merge a branch. So this is something else I'd like to do with GitHub for desktop. That isn't part of Unreal Engine, so we have to go into this, and we can see that some files have changed that Unreal Engine has not, what's it called, it turned into a commit. Added packaging instructions. There's something you have to do before you build the project. Is over 100 megabyte. Perfect, let's do this thing. Oh yes, I was gonna, it looks like I'm committing my own version. I didn't want to do that. That's okay, I can get rid of that. It's the Windows no editor that I should have added to the thing of the thing of assets not to commit. But it's cool. We can do that. Yes, fine, we'll do that. So now that I've made my final commit with Unreal Engine closed, I'm currently on this branch here that's called the Frontier branch. I've also got the master branch, and master is kind of the project that I'd like to kind of store. I'm gonna go over and make a bit of a scary change, so I'm gonna go and merge these, whoops, I'm gonna go and merge my Frontier changes into the master branch. And I kind of always forget how to do that. But when I do that, everything that's changed on my branch is then merged into the master branch, so we can keep working on the Frontier branch. If it breaks, we have the master branch to go back to. And is it that I right click? No, I do. No, hang on. I right click on here, choose a branch to merge into Frontier. It's not quite what we want. We want it to change to the master branch. Merge Frontier into that branch. I think that's how we want to do that. Choose a branch to merge into master. Oh, there we go. That's it. I would like Frontier to merge into master. This will merge 8 commits from Frontier into master. I think that is what we want to do. Successfully merged Frontier into master. This is kind of good. That's what we want. Now I can go switch back to Frontier because both of these are now identical. But everything scary that I'm going to do now, I'll still do on the Frontier branch. And it doesn't have to be the Frontier branch. It could be something else. It could be like the AI branch now. But I'll just call it that. Oop. Library, Polygon Western. Let's get cracking with it. So I'm going to have to refer to my own notes there. I've written some articles on my website. I'll see how far I get before I get stuck. And I can always refer to that. I'll go back into third-person BP here. Make myself a new folder. I'm going to call that one AI. And in AI, I'm going to make 3 things. First one is going to be an AI controller. That's what we need. I think I have to search for it. AI controller. There we go. So instead of the player controller, that's going to be that's the computer controlling the characters. And I'll call that maybe Cinti AI. Background AI maybe. Background AI. Background AI. This will have to be kind of inserted into the brain of the character that's being controlled. I will never buy followers, and thanks for dropping by. You're Chudy, but I think we're going to have to kick you out quite immediately. Could you take care of that, Christina? Or if you're on your phone, it might also be possible that you can't do that. Ah, there we go. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Very good. Very much appreciated. In here, I'm going to add 2 more things, namely a blackboard and a behavior tree. And those are kind of cool things. I don't know if they're under artificial intelligence. Yeah, there we go. They're both there. Behavior tree and blackboard. Very good. Thank you. We don't want them back. It's a behavior tree. I'll call that Western BT. Just so that I know, Western is what we have, and the BT is for the behavior tree. And then there's another one, artificial intelligence, that's a blackboard. Western BB for blackboard. So these are super exciting things. These are kind of abstract lists of things that we want Unreal Engine to execute. And those things hopefully then will happen. So I'll open the Western behavior tree. I'm going to associate a blackboard with it. I know, have I missed out? Should I? Dang, I forgot the URL that he gave me. One of those things. Oh, nice one. Mr. Brian, how are you today? Congrats on that amazing review. 2 amazing reviews on, where was that again? Goodreads? No, it was Online Book Club, I think. Amazing. So I was thinking, whatever you're doing marketing wise, you're doing great. Something is working. People are discovering your work, which is, I think, the hardest thing ever. So congrats. Very cool. On the blackboard, I think all I need, this is basically like a key value mini database. It has one thing already that's called self actor. I didn't put that there. Blackboard stores values. I'm going to have one key that'll be a value. This is going to be a vector. And I'm going to call that one new, or no, actually just call it patrol location. Not sure if it's allowed to have spaces or not. There. That's all we need here. Save it. From now on, I don't have to switch between blackboard and behavior tree. I can just go into the behavior tree like this. So that's kind of cool. This is where we're going to set up these background tasks there. But there's so much else that needs to happen before we can call the tasks. Some of them we need to write in here. and some of them we just need to, you know, write in the characters. So I think I need to go drag a sequence out into here. And this sequence is the thing that's being executed. These are quite cool. There's a video on my channel that explains a little bit more about behavior trees, but it's essentially off this sequence we're going to have several things going off here, like a wait node, for example. And imagine we had a few of those just for demonstration. They're not all just going to be waiting, but they're going to be different things, and the behavior tree is going to execute from here, go to a sequence, and then go and say execute this first, then it goes up again, then it executes this, goes up again, and so forth. So no matter how many tasks we have to do here, this is what the thing is going to do. So I'll go and delete those for now, because we're gonna add some other bits and pieces here. But yes, this is essentially how I say, how Unreal Engine says to the character, do this, then do that, then do that, then do that. So in our case, it'll be something like, pick a new location in your radius, got that. Next task, face towards that location, got that. Randomize your walk speed, got that. Now walk to the new location in your new random walk speed, great. Then go wait there. All these are little instructions, and the behavior tree is going to take care of giving that to our thing. Yes, I'm glad it's become another little casual hangout in the afternoon. It's nice. Can't wait to do maybe some clothes stuff or Marvelous Designer stuff soon. That's, you know, let's see how that goes. Let's see how this goes first, and then we'll see what happens. Sure, absolutely, no worries. I'll see if I can remember what I need to do next. So, in our character here, under blueprints, we have the Cinti bystander and we have the Cinti character. And these guys in the western level, let me just go and maybe use the gray box here as our test level. Let's go and add a couple of bystanders here. One here and one there. 2 should be enough. And I'll go and change their outfits as well to something else. So he can maybe be the cowboy. And then this guy over here, he can be maybe the sheriff. Oh, the bandit. No, bandit is from the other pack. He's not retargeted yet. We want to do that as well. There we go. That's woman in the skirt. Skirt isn't working so well. Gunman. No, gunman also doesn't work. Got to retarget stuff for that. Where's the sheriff? Sheriff, there we go. Sheriff also doesn't work. Sheriff, what's going down? Oh, I know, because we need to give the sheriff the Cinti animation blueprint there. Alrighty, so these guys are now just standing there and they're not doing anything, but these guys are now a different class than the one that I am. And currently they're breathing, so they are animating. That's cool. I need to give them the AI controller and write a little bit of logic so that they will respond to stuff. See if we can make that happen. So bystander character, I'll open him up. And I think I'm just going to make him a different mesh than the one we are, just so that I can distinguish him. Yeah, let's make him the cowboy by default, just so that when I look into this, it looks at least a little bit different. And maybe I'll make him a woman. That'll make him even more different. Let's turn him into cowgirl there. It's a better thumbnail. It's just, you know, it makes it better for me. Beard Goblin, top of the evening to you. Very nice. You're just in time. My goodness, this is exciting. I'm fiddling with AI stuff, so that's extremely cool. And I'm just about to get started. All I did so far was set up the behavior tree and the blackboard, but literally just created the files, gave it one property here, patrol location, which is a vector. And this is where we're going to write our little tasks in the behavior tree. First of all, I'm going to have to go and slot the AI controller into, I think, the class settings. Is that it? No, probably character movement. Is that it? I'm just going to see if I can find that. AI controller. that is not it. Probably the class defaults then. There we go, that's it. AI controller class is not the generic AI controller. It's going to be the Western, or was it called the background? There we go, background AI. That is mine. And that's all we need to do, I think. Don't quote me on this. Could horribly go wrong. Everything here. But yeah, so this character has now got the AI controller. Move that over here. So now we can go and write some functionality in it. So we've got some graphs in here already. We don't really need them. I could probably delete them. I will just leave them in here just in case. So this is now a different character. This is not my player character. This is my background character, the AI controlled character. So I'm going to make myself a new graph so that I can, you know, doodle. Whoops, sorry about that. So that I can doodle around here. 100 messages. Thank you, Restream. Wow. That's the AI we want to achieve. Exactly, Brian. Yeah, but I think, Beard Goblin, that's what the healing process is all about, isn't it? Sometimes that's just how the body is, and it's good for you. I'm pleased for you. I'm pleased for Christina as well. Christina is sleeping better, sleeping full stop, which is awesome. And I think if you've been through traumatic surgery experiences, that's just what the body needs. You just got to give them time. I remember I like these super simple adventure games that I currently don't have any patience for, but back then it was just okay to do it in my own time and just go, hey, I just need to look at this for 2 hours and work out how do I open this drawer and combine X with Y. That's, you know, that was just great. And then I just doze off again to sleep. It's good to do that. So what we're going to call this new event graph here, let's call it AI stuff. I'll just call it that just because, you know, we might rename it later. I'm also going to go grab myself a new function. And the first one I think I can remember, it's called randomize walk speed. And this is so that as soon as my character has found a new location that he wants to walk to, I'm going to call this function just so that he doesn't walk at the same speed as everyone else, because that looks very robotic. So we're going to just randomize that a little bit. So we need to grab a reference to our character movement. And just go call set max walk speed. And that's really all we need to do. The max walk speed is currently set to 375, so I don't really want to use that, but we can use a random int between two values. Random float in range is what we're looking for. And I say, let's make him walk from about 75 to about, I don't know, 175. 200 maybe. We don't want them to run, but this is going to give them a bit of a, you know, a little bit of a variation here in the walk speed. That's cool. And that is really, I think, all we need for the randomized walk speed function. So this is going to be a task this is going to be called via the behavior tree. So the good thing about this is now we can literally hook into the blackboard, and we could call something called, well, we need to make ourselves a new task for this first, which will then open a new class. It's kind of nice the way this works. It has done, what has it done? Hopefully it's in AI. Is it in AI? It is there. This is just called BT task blueprint base new. So I'm going to rename that immediately that I remember what it is. So BTT is always the kind of task. And I'm going to call this one walk speed. BTT walk speed. Just so that we know what that is. BTT walk speed is just this. And this is, I think, where I need to refresh my memory a little bit. We need to call the function on our character that we've just created from this task, and then plug this task into the behavior tree. Can do that right now, actually. BTT walk speed. There we go. So that is that is one of the things that the behavior tree is going to do. Call this randomized walk speed. How did that work again? Can I remember? I think this is it. Event receive execute AI. I think this is a bit like event begin play when this task gets called. I think that's what it is. So what we need to grab from here is the owner controller and or the controlled pawn. So that, yeah, I've already lost it there. So let's go and have a look at my website and see what it says. This, by the way, if you type project in the chat, you'll get a link to this product that I've set up on my on my Ko-fi store, that lets you download the latest nightly build. So whenever I'm done with the session, I'll build this project, upload it there, and you can download the latest version from there and have a play, see what you think. My website, verslewis.com, it will have the answer. It'll probably have under Unreal Engine 2 articles that are going to be very important for me. One is going to be something about AI. It's something like how to create a simple AI something. Where is that? UI basic string, persistent variables. That's not it. Cloth animations. I can't see it. Is it really that long ago? This is why I can't remember it anymore. These are all blocks of 10, so that's kind of nice. Control the walk speed of a character. I think we've done that already. Rotate. Oh, this is what we need. Rotate an actor towards somebody else. We need to do that as well. And walk to random direction. There we go. That's cool. Walk speed. That's it. Max play. We've done that already. That's perfect. Yeah, but this is that behavior I was talking about. So this is what we're gonna do next. Before they walk, they're just gonna have to turn. So this is, this is the next thing, and I'm explaining how that works here. And in the task, that's just rotate towards. This is probably the thing with the AR controller. Exactly. Behavior tree, I'm explaining this here pretty much like we have what I've just explained. Then there's also the blackboard that we've set that up. Finding a new random location. We're going to set that up in a moment. It's event execute AI, isn't it? Event receive execute AI. That's the one. Receive execute AI. Perfect. So this is, yeah, I did get that right. Does that need to be, we need to cast it to that character. Gotcha. Okay. And that is the control pawn. Gotcha. So let's go cast this to my Cinti bystander. That's important. So not our player character, but our bystander character. And as the bystander, we want to now call this function that we've just written here. So randomize walk speed on him. Randomize walk speed. And that's all there's to it. Then we need to have one more node to let the behavior tree know that we're done with this task. And that is, I think, something along the lines of finish execute, I think. And target is self. Isn't that right? Finish execute target self. Oh, with success. We need to tick that box. Okay, good. Good to know. Let's do that. Haha. Oh, have I missed something in the chat? I was caught up in stuff here. Sorry, let me just go quickly read that. I do think so too, Christina. You rock. And you know, Brian, this is exactly why we need to do this, right? We need to record this while we remember, because then next week when we've forgotten, it is written down somewhere. And then the good thing also, you explaining it to your future self means you will understand it. Something that doesn't make sense to anyone else, you just go, oh, I understand it. That's important. So goody, that's one task done. So it's not exactly, no it isn't. What's happening here? Could not find function randomize walk speed. It's probably because we haven't compiled this guy. So we need to compile this before this can be compiled so that it knows about its existence. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And then we're kind of done here with the randomized walk speed. So yeah, this is not actually quite the order in which I think I'm going to call these, but you know, this is one of them. This is probably the one that's more involved, finding a new location before we can actually walk. So that's how I did that there. What do I do there? This is another task I'm going to create, and this will be done just in the task node itself. So cast that and then get random reachable point in radius. Gotcha. Okay, see if we can do that. Alrighty, so let's go add ourselves a new task. This opens that again, so I'm going to go and rename that before anything more drastic happens. BTT, and I'll call this one find new location. So we'll begin once again with event receive execute AI, and that we're going to go and cast once again. Cast to the Cinti bystander, I think. That's cool. And now we're going to get actor's location, get a random reachable point in radius. Gotcha. Let's do that. Get actor location. That makes perfect sense. This is the location that we or the AI character currently has. And from here, get random reachable point in radius. This is quite nice. So if the character, if there is a point that's obstructed by something that the character can't reach, like a mountain or ravine or something into which the navigation mesh doesn't extend, then that point won't come out. That's quite nice. I like that. So that's cool. That's that. Radius will promote to a variable, and that will then be given into a set blackboard value as vector. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I suppose that goes off a branch node here first of all. That's just so should no point come out, so the return value gets hooked up to that. And then we're going to say the task has finished successfully, hopefully. Set blackboard value as vector. Alrighty. Set blackboard, whoops. As vector. And we need this twice actually. So I'll go copy that, paste that in here. One for the true, one for the false branch. And so the trick here is that should we have a new point that we can go to, we want to go there, of course. So we're going to hook up the random location that comes out of here to here, I believe. Make that look a little bit prettier. And in case we don't, we want to still make sure we finish successfully, but we're going to give it the current location. So we'll go drag this value, oops, all the way into here, so that the character essentially remains in place. Let's go drag that down here and this down to here, I think. And then we're just going to have to go and finish this task successfully. Finish execute. See, this keyboard is too short. I'd like one that's a bit longer. Finish execute, and we can just go put both of these things in here because they both lead to the same thing, which is, you know, telling the behavior tree, hey, this node has finished successfully. Now I'm sure there was, oh yeah, the radius gets promoted to a new variable. In case we ever wanted to change that from the outside, that's cool. But we need to, the next thing we need to do is we need to set this value that we get here, this vector, and store it on our blackboard. So that is done with this this fascinating node here that will, on our blackboard, essentially store this value as the new patrol location here. And that is not what it is. What wasn't a set blackboard key? Set, oh, just patrol location. Right, okay. So this is then, what is that then? Could it be this one here? Make that? No, that's not it. That's not it. It's something. Does it do a promote this to variable? I think so. I think that's how I do it. And then I just say patrol location. I think, just so that this value can be saved. And then when this task is finished, it gets deallocated, but the blackboard still knows the value. So in a new task, we can then take this and give it to our player character. That's why we're doing this. And put that here. That's cool. Patrol location. Oh, that's already in use here. Okay, good stuff. I'll just go get rid of that then. And just go hook that up to here. Is that how we do that? I think so. I think. Does it compile? It does. Does it look a little bit like what I've shown myself in this picture? Yes, hooked up to both. Ha ha ha. That's why we do that. Branch, do this, do that. Perfect. These two are not hooked up. So good. Rod, classic. I'm still thinking the way you've put yourself in the prison guard's monitor. That was so funny. And also, I don't think I've ever seen YouTube being called tuber. That's also very nice. There we go. So I think that's that. All that remains, of course, to be done now is to save this. And BTD find new location, that should now be on our behavior tree. BTT find new location has just been given the go ahead on our behavior tree. That's amazing. So now we need to write another function, but this one is again on our character. So we're going to call this from another task node, but the function itself, I think, needs to be on the character because it will turn the character around into the new location. This is it. So if we don't do that, the character just goes and faces one way, waits, and then basically just flips into the next location. There's no animation. So currently this is kind of the animation. I might do this a bit later and just see if the basic principle actually works. That might be nice. So that we find a new location and we randomize the walk speed, then we go and walk there. Let's do that. Let's do that first. So we need to, for this to happen, you do that, you find a new location, and then you walk to the new location. I think we don't need anything else. This is a thing that's inside the behavior tree. It's called isn't it called something like go there, walk there? New location. Rotate towards, we're exploring that next. Move to, that was it. Sorry, not walk to, it's move to. There. So move to. Actor is self. And then we can say, where do you need to? So blackboard key is this. Move to. How do I do that again? the other thing I just realized, speaking of radiuses, the new location, we need to actually give this guy a radius larger than, 0. I just thought maybe, so let's say 200. It could be too big, could be too small. I totally forgot to set the default value for the radius. Let's just do that. Move to blackboard key should be patrol location and observe blackboard value. Observe blackboard value tolerance. Yeah, that's cool. We can do that. Think that is it. Allow strafe we can do. It'd be kind of cool if that were to work already. All I want him to do now is literally at the end of this, I'd like him to wait there. And we'll say 5 seconds with a 2-second variation. Should this work already? This would be kind of exciting if it did. There's one thing that I can tell you why it probably isn't working, and that's because they don't have a navigational mesh. So that's something that we need to add to the scene, and our two crazy guys here, they need to be on there. So that's a nav mesh bounce volume. That's the thing we can just go drag in, and wherever this is, I think I can press something exciting. Is it P, T, T? There we go. T it is. This will kind of turn green where these guys are allowed to walk. So I'll go and drag this out into both of these directions. I can also drag it higher. That'll also work. I'm just gonna go encapsulate this whole area here. And if I wanted to make it higher, actually, look, it's already high. So anything up here, they will be able to climb stairs and everything. So that's kind of exciting. Let's go and move this all the way to the back so that the guys can walk towards the back as well. And when I'm moving this, you can tell Unreal Engine is doing some calculation. At the moment I drop it, it goes red for a second, and that's Unreal Engine doing some heavy calculations under the hood there. But because this is a fairly simple scene, there's really not much to calculate there. Let's go extend that out a little bit more. And I'll be damned, man. Let's see if it works already. That would be kind of exciting. Does it? No, these guys don't actually move at all. What a shame. So I must have forgotten something seriously important. Yes, I remember now. I didn't tell my AI controller that it needs to look at the blackboard and kick off the blackboard. So we've put the AI controller into the character, we've written the blackboard, but we haven't told the AI controller, hey dude, look at the blackboard and behavior tree and then do what it actually says in there. Yes, I totally forgot about that. And that's also in here. Randomized walk speed, I think we're good with that. AI stuff is event begin play. Oh, that's already here. Okay, good. No worries. We're going to put that at the end of this. And that is called something along the lines of cast to behavior tree. Something about behavior tree. Don't make me look it up. Maybe it was something else. Let's look it up. Thank you for dropping by, Brian. I appreciate that. Event on possess. Yeah, there it is. Run behavior tree. Event on possess. Right, let's do that. AI stuff. It's not in menu shenanigans. And that is, of course, also not happening. What am I doing? It's not in the character at all. It's in the AI controller, which doesn't even have a viewport. Event begin play, and that is not what we want. We want event on possess. There. Haha. Run behavior tree. That's it. And all we need to do now is make sure we give it that behavior tree. We only have one, the Western BT, because we're in the Wild West. I think that is all that's necessary. he says. Let's go take the P, the T. Was it, what do we need to go? P, there it is. Let's see if that works. You guys do anything? Nope, they're not. What a shame. Much like my keyboard. So there's still something missing. You guys are in the nav mesh. Eye controller is running the behavior tree. You guys aren't doing the thing with the thing. Event on possess is happening. This is constantly finding a new location, but you guys are never moving there. That's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Yeah, so it looks like it's never really kicking off. So it is run, but for some reason, maybe I've made a mistake here. Find new location. It looks like that never finishes successfully. That could be that. Actually, patrol location is invalid every time. That's interesting. At the bottom here. And with that invalid, of course, these guys are not moving. Interesting. Wonder what my mistake is then. So walk speed, I'm pretty sure this is working. It's just the new location that is not quite valid. Move to location gets referenced from here, from patrol location. That new location, is it actually being given into the blackboard? I'm hoping. Would be good to actually see this value here. No, we can't do that. Let's go smuggle it in here. Or print string, we can't. Oh, there, print string, perfect. And then this vector, I don't know if you can, if Unreal Engine is clever enough to do that. No, it doesn't. Yeah, there we go. It totally does that. That's cool. Maybe the radius isn't big enough. That could be. Maybe we'll just increase it a little bit to maybe 500. Does that work? So we are getting vectors out, and they are different every time. So that is correct. Shift F1 so that I can move this again. That's working, that's working. This is saying that the patrol location is still invalid. Interesting. Wonder what I'm doing then. Should it be the blackboard key self actor? Should that be it? But how do I tell you that you're supposed to go to the patrol location? I thought that's how I'm doing that. Maybe it isn't. Let's try this. Does that work? Nope. Same thing. It was still invalid. And now it's on the wait task. And then it goes, finds another one. It's still invalid. What's going down? Yeah, I wouldn't have thought this is the way to do it. I would have thought the blackboard key has got to be patrol location. Perhaps I want to switch this off. Let's try this. That could be. That's not it. Nope, still invalid. Dang, brother. Why? Well, let's see if my notes hold any particular keys here. We've done that. Move to patrol location. That is correct. This is switched off. So we've done that. Randomized walk speed did that as well. I have a feeling something in this logic isn't quite correct here. Oh, okay, so between 1000 and 5000 works well. So maybe I haven't picked a large enough value on that task. That could be. So for radius then, let's see, 2000. Here's a float, isn't it? Yes. That's all good. Does it work? No, still doesn't work. Still an invalid location here. Well, lucky for me, I have another project that I can open and literally dissect and see what I've done there. That's interesting. That's a puzzling little thing. So we've got 2000. That should be fine. Actors location added to the. Let's go have another look at this and see if it resembles ours. Event receive execute AI cast to thing. If it failed, finish the task unsuccessfully. We can do that. That's cool. If the cast has failed, we're going to go finish execute AI unsuccessfully. Not ticked. That's one thing. Get actor location from the control pawn. Get random reachable point in radius. Get random reachable point in radius. Radius, we've set that. On that condition, true or false, set blackboard value as vector. Set blackboard value as vector. Called patrol location. It could be that it doesn't like spaces. It could be. I'm not sure. I might just change that. So patrol locate. Could also be that I've misspelt it. Patrol location. Just go copy that out here. No space. And that means I have to go and rejig my blackboard here and say patrol location. Just in case I have misspelt it. Could be that's a vector. It's all awesome stuff. I don't think we need that anymore. And patrol location, blackboard key. Instance editable. Is that possible that we need to do that? That is also an option. Let's try it. And so we're certainly getting something with more value because we don't constantly call that node. That's nice. But it looks like the guys are still not happy. Nope, still an invalid location on the patrol location. I wonder why. Did I set this here as well? Move to, no, it's not self-active patrol location. Duh. There we go. Let's see if it works now. Come on, guys. No, totally doesn't work. It's always invalid. I don't really know why that is. We could always try it if the logic is sound. We could always try making this happen in a larger level. I mean, it could be that the level is just too small and the mesh here has, come on, is it P? Was it T? What was it again? Nav mesh bounce volume, was it P or T? There we go. Maybe it just needs to penetrate the ground a little bit. Oh yeah, the lighting. Dude, keyboard, work with me here. Come on. Come on, scale. Scale. Dude, you had it. You had it. Come on. Oh. There. Yeah, so from what I remember, it should penetrate the ground a little bit. It doesn't have to penetrate it a lot. Maybe mine was just not tall enough. In fact, you know what? Let me just go and put a whole different one in here. Nav Mesh bounce volume into here. And I'll just scale it up as a giant cube, so it can be really tall. There. Would it now, Brian? Oh, Rod, sorry. You had the same color on my screen than Brian did. There. See if this works. Oh, light. I don't want to see this message here. The lighting needs to be rebuilt. I'm not going to rebuild the lighting. Actually, I'm just going to go switch it over to a movable light, and then Unreal Engine is super happy with that. And where's my other guy? Other guy's gone. Did I accidentally delete him as well? I could have done. I didn't mean to. Come on, girl. You're supposed to walk around and all. No, don't want to do that. Hard to say if these are valid vectors or not, aren't they? Unreal Engine certainly thinks they're not valid. And I wonder why that is. What did I do wrong? Well, let me go bring up my other project here and see if I can compare exactly what's happened there in comparison to what's happening here. Literally just make a one-to-one comparison there. So if I could only remember which one that was, it was something about a park. This is my video in which I've had several Unreal guys. AI Patrol, this could be it. This is the project in which I've had several Unreal guys walk around the park, so being spawned into the park, and there was about 100 or so. That was quite fun. I forgot, of course, what I've named it, but it could be AI Patrol, so I'll see what it is. Rod, the more complex this stuff gets, the more difficult it is to work out. Look at that. These guys seem to do the trick. And they bump into one another. So this is exactly the kind of behavior I wanted to implement here. So I have made it before. That's the other confusing thing, isn't it, Rod? When you say, well, I've done it. What is it that I've forgotten? Could also be one of those things like the blender rotation not working. Always possible that isn't, that something just isn't working. Yo, buddy, come down the stairs. Exciting. So good stuff. How do you guys make yourself work then? We've got our behavior tree here. Let's open that up. This is what it looks like. Find new location, rotate towards, wait, randomize walk speed, walk there, and wait again. So under here we have patrol location, acceptable radius. I think we've pretty much got that in our other project as well, don't we? So let's have a look here. Acceptable radius 5, none. And patrol location. Perfect, so that's the move to node. That should work, yet it does not. So in Blackboard, what we've got one thing called patrol location, also no space, and it's a vector. And that's really it. Perfect. So it's exactly what we have here. We've got one thing called patrol location. And that's it. Awesome. They are a little, aren't they? A little bit frosty. So I suppose we can safely assume the behavior tree itself is fine. Let's see what happens in the AI controller. On possess, target self, behavior tree, case closed. Oh, was there something else in this guy here? Run construction, parent class AI controller. Was there something that I've forgotten to set in this guy? Not that I can remember. Always spawn, ignore collisions. We're not really spawning anything though. Anything in the construction script? Nope. Anything in the viewport? No. Alrighty, so I suppose that's that controller done as well. The character itself, randomized walk speed, is a function. That's cool. We've set up pretty much the same thing here, different values, but that's it. This is a rotate towards function. We're not dealing with that right now. In this, we just randomize the walk speed in the construction script, and we also give the Unreal guys a different color. So that's also not what we're concerned with. And this is him. So I think, except for class settings, parent class character in class defaults, AI controller is set up here. Auto possess player. Auto possess AI place in world or spawn. Oh yes, interesting. We should have a look at that. In class defaults. Auto possess player. Ay caramba. No. When placed in world or spawn, so it doesn't really matter. AI controller class background AI. That is the only one we have. So I thought, background AI, yes, that's the one. And that is that. And it still isn't working, right? Just checking. Nope, not working. Where is the second character? Didn't I put... Is this him? Come on. Yeah, this is him. He's kind of... Oh, he's drowning in the mesh. Right, okay, so maybe... I don't think it needs to be quite that high. I'm pretty sure it doesn't have to be this thick. It's just this giant cube. I mean, it should work really. So let's go click P, and I think I may have messed with the floor now. Have I? Yeah, certainly I've messed with the floor, and I didn't mean to do that. Yes. This might be how it's supposed to be. Just go make sure. Do I have an end key on this keyboard? Yes, I do. Perfect. Where's the other Cinti character? Cinti bystander number 2. Can we see you? No, that's you. Cinti bystander number 1 is there. Dude, you're not really this. You're like far away here. That's terrible. Let's go grab another one of you guys out. Hope I haven't destroyed anything beyond recognition. There we go. Put you here. And that's nice. And I'll go and make you a different guy. Maybe businessman. Perfect. And just checking, you guys aren't working. Great. Dang. So, what else then? Let's have a look at the task node then. How does this task node in the other project look differently than the one that I've got here? Assuming everything else is fine here. Find new location. Radius 5,000. Patrol location is none. Interesting. Do we have that? I think we have that. And what have I got here? This, yeah, I can probably delete that. That's the spirit. Radius is float. Patrol location is blackboard key. Oh, come on. Find new location doesn't seem to have anything in it. That's interesting. Why not? Well, because we have 2. This one should be deleted. I don't think we need that. Well, we'll leave it there. This is the one, find new location. That is... Radius is 5,000. Instance editable, yes. Okay, let's do that. Instance, well, radius, instance editable, yes, and we'll say 5,000. See if that works. And then what else here? We've got cast to enemy character here, in this case finish execute unsuccessfully. Cast to a different character, but you know, finish. Oh, should we get the actor location from the Cinti bystander instead? No, we're taking it from here. Okay. Filter class nothing. Radius goes in there. Then we go branch of that. Set blackboard value as vector in radius. Set blackboard value as vector, yes. And off that we say we're done here. So that is the same. Ah, interesting. And it still is working. Well, then I'm afraid I don't know. If it's all exactly the way I've set it up and it's still not working with some shenanigans issue, then I really don't know. Can't say we haven't tried. Yeah, so I think that is, I'm gonna go and get rid of the print string thing here then, because we have proven that this is actually working. So let's go get rid of that. And yeah, so then I don't really know what's happening. Good thing there's other things to polish and try and make on this project. Yeah, so this is a mystery. This is a total mystery. So walk speed, I think that works. We can even do it without it. That's cool. Find new location, move to location, then wait. That's, you know, that should work, but it looks like it doesn't. No, still doesn't work. I would have been surprised if it was that. That's just calling it on that actor. It could just be that, yes, something is invalid, but I really don't know why. We're getting the correct values out. They're just not being then put into my blackboard, it seems. Instant sync, does that need to be on? I can't tell. We can always try. We can always try to restart Unreal Engine. That could work. No, see, this doesn't work either. No, then I don't know. Proven that is correct. I'd love to be able to read out what the blackboard sees. I don't quite know how to do that. And have we... This is definitely patrol location. And find new location. Ah, patrol location. There we go. Was that it? Would kind of make sense. Would be quite... Ah, there we go. Haha! And now you guys are waiting, and then you're running away. That's cool. Whew! So that's where the issue was. You guys are waiting, and then you're running. That's cool. So you don't have to do this at the maximum walk speed. Whew. Finally! Success somewhere! I thought I was going nuts here. Alrighty, so let's add. This is good. This is good. We're going places. So we're okay with this. I can close this down. We don't need this anymore. Now, before we do this, let's go and call the randomize node here, so that we don't have them running into all directions at all times. So let's go and add the. Come on. So this keyboard isn't much better than the previous one. Come on. BTT walk speed, there we go. So now we're randomizing the walk speed before anything happens. Hey, do you know, that's cool, because whatever's happened in the stream didn't actually work. So it's only just, it's literally, now that you're back, things are starting to work again. So thank you for being back, because it looks like that that is solved. So for the last half hour, I've been trying to make this happen, and it just didn't seem to work. Now it seems to work. That's cool. You guys have picking quite a long distance away here, so I might just drop the radius down now that I know this is working, and I'll reduce the wait speed so that we can just go and see them walk and just keep this loop up here. Whew. Yeah, so radius, let's set this to 500 maybe. And then the wait time here, we're going to go set this to just 2 seconds, just for now, that we know what these guys are doing here. Yeah, good stuff. No waiting and walking a really short distance here, but that's cool. At least we can see that the principle is working. I like that. Phew! Thought I went mad here. Indeed, Beard Goblin, the Force is with you. Shame I'm not wearing my Star Wars t-shirt today. So we're getting there, we're getting there. So now what is happening now is that they're waiting, they're finding a new location, and then they literally walk there right away. They don't really turn there. That's very elegant. I think I might want to implement that. I don't think it's actually that necessary. If I'm just looking at her changing directions, they're not really changing directions that drastically. But when they do, you can see that literally, oh, they are turning. That's quite nice. So maybe I shouldn't really implement that then, because, you know, it looks like there's a bit of turning involved. Yeah, I might save myself that trouble. I'm kind of looking forward to implementing behavior when you meet somebody. I don't really know how to do that yet, but, you know, that is kind of nice. Yeah, so he is actually turning quite smoothly. I might just leave that then. And just set up a, whoops, this is nice. This is also nice. This is the look that you get with Untitled Goose Game. And then 3 is the shaded one. 4 is kind of grey, and then this, I don't know, this is like the nothing view. I don't know why we'd ever look at that, but yeah, there we go. F keys compilation. Okay, so let's make him wait 5 seconds, and let's make the radius maybe 2000. Right, that's kind of us done with the behavior tree. Let's implement these bounding volumes then in the 2 maps that we have. And then let's set up some characters that can walk around in there. This would also include the frontier characters, so I might rejig them because they haven't been retargeted yet, or the skeleton that we've retargeted hasn't been assigned to the other character. So we'll come to that. Let's set up a couple of nav mesh bounce volumes first. That is very unlucky, Beard Goblin, you're right. So I'm thinking we probably want maybe 2 areas here. This could be one where like native Indians might be walking around. I'll go add this here. Click P. Or T, one of these. Oh, come on. I'd much rather they don't walk over the water. And just lurk around in the camp area here. And maybe a little bit in the forest. You can use more than one nav mesh, and you can also stitch them together. So you can, if you have a little path that you'd like them to take, you can have another one, and then just make that a spur off here. Then they go into the forest or whatnot. All you need to make sure is then that they are connected with one another. And they need to penetrate the ground a little bit. So this is now connecting these 2 nav mesh bounce volumes. Yeah, I'm trying to connect this to the forest here a little bit, that they can walk out there if they want to. That needs to be deeper than for that. I suppose that'll be difficult. Let's extend it over here so that they can wander out. Yeah, go over here. That's nice. And then also this, the other one. Don't want to move over here. Whoops! I think I've just touched the wrong thing there. There, that's nice. That's, whoops. I think I've just duplicated one. That's also cool. We can do that. Get this all the way over here. And then they can go all the way down here. That's nice. I might even go and extend that over here so that they want to... Don't want them to go in the water because that looks uncool. There we go. Now they're all connected. So they can go... All these characters that I'm placing in this green area, they can go all the way over here. That's nice. Then we'll put another one maybe over here. I think if I alt click and drag this over here, then I'm duplicating it. Looks like quite nice actually. Let's go and expand that over to the side a bit. There. And then maybe another one over here in the whole mining area. That might be nice. So alt drag. There, so some people can then literally walk up here if they can, if they want to. That's nice. Very good, Chris. No worries. Enjoy the dinner. I hope it's going to be something enjoyable. I don't know what we're going to have for dinner. We had sandwiches for lunch. We need something proper for dinner. Something with vegetables. Something like that. Wow, Christina, you're doing another burning the midnight oil thing? Oh. See you later, Christina. Don't work too hard. Remember, when that sleeping impulse comes, go sleep. Now, with all the nav mesh bounce volumes there, let's actually take care of those characters. And then we're going to call it a day as well, I think. There is... do you remember these characters? Let me open one of our characters here. My character. Let me go my player character, in fact. Sunti character. In the viewport. So this is the one, kind of our default character right now. And on the right hand side here, under class defaults, I'll see somewhere, no, with the mesh selected, I'll see something like this here. Let me go bring that over here so I can go zoom in and we can all see it. So if I can switch this to certain people, namely the ones from the Western pack, like this one, but there's certain other things, certain other characters that I can't switch him to, and they are, let's just go with, see which ones they are. They're from the Western Frontier pack. So under meshes characters, there's all these guys here that I haven't, they have a different skeleton assigned, namely this one, and this is the one that we haven't retargeted. We've retargeted the one from the Western pack, which is a different skeleton. So currently when I select any of these guys, for example, Western front, no, this is Traveler female, for example. Traveler female. If I do that, she doesn't move. She doesn't have, because her skeleton hasn't been retargeted, she doesn't breathe. She doesn't have that animation on her. So let's quickly do that so that I can pick any of these guys. It is literally everything in pink. These guys, that guy, this, and Traveler female. There we go. So that is, what is that? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 extra characters. This is physics assets, so it's not... Oh my goodness, 12, what did I say? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 additional characters. Oh, that is awesome. So what I need to do now is right click, and I have to do this, just have to click things several times. I'm going to have to go to skeleton, assign skeleton. And now I need to figure out which skeleton we've used for the Western thing. So I think it was this one. I better check. Character Polygon Western skeleton. I really have to check this. Oh boy. So I have to click cancel 4 million times now, do I? There's no way to get out of this with escape or whatnot now. Oh, come on. And that cancel button doesn't actually work. Hey, there we go. So what we need to know is under the Western Meshes characters, what is this thing going to be called? It's SK character Poly West skeleton. I could potentially rename that. That might make my life much easier. SK Polygon, my skeleton. Just wanted to check that hasn't totally ruined. Hasn't completely ruined what... No, perfect, it hasn't. Perfect. So that's what we need to do. So in Western Frontier, here we go. Meshes, characters, anything pink from here all the way over to here needs to have that skeleton. So skeleton, assign skeleton, and SK Polygon. SK Polygon. So I have to do this literally for every single thing. But then they can all share those animations. Because all the Cinti packs have the same skeleton, really. And they give you technically a new instance of that skeleton for each pack. And assign the characters to that. Or assign the skeleton to the characters, rather. We're nearly there. Yeah, and then, I mean, we can even expand the project so that we can make many of them selectable. I'll see how that works with the textures, actually. Let's have a look at that next. Because the textures for the Frontier pack are different ones than for our Western pack. So it might be that when we assign them a material from the Western pack, that might not work very well. Let's see how it goes. There we go. Let's see what happens when we go and the female, or the Traveler, I think, wasn't it? Traveler female. She now works as well. That's perfect. And she even works with that material, so that is quite nice. I like that. Yeah, let's go and use her as a default character, since this is our player character that we've just checked here. No, it's not. Dang, brother. Oh, yeah, because the default values are set on the game instance, aren't they? Ha. Remember that. Yes, just in case you're a little bit unclear of why I'm picking a character and start playing and a different character shows up, it's because last time we have used the game instance, which is the one that sets the default values up here. This is why we're getting that character. So if we go and say, get a female Traveler now. There we go. There she goes. And she can use different outfits, but many of them don't work because these are the textures from the Western pack and not from the Frontier pack. So the skin tones, they will work, but I suppose the rest of the clothing doesn't quite doesn't quite make a difference because they're just different textures and different materials. So I think in order to make those selectable, I think what I'd have to do when I pick a character, if we were to put them like on a second line up here or like 2 lines up here, then we'd have to say when we select one, is this a frontier character or like a non-frontier character? So like just a Boolean, is it a frontier character, yes or no? And if it is a frontier character, by the time we change to the outfits, we're just going to have to say, we're going to have to branch off there. If it's a frontier character, use these textures. If it's a non-frontier character, use these textures. So that should work. That should work. And then our skin tone logic, that appears to be intact still. And we might take care of that tomorrow. I think for now I'm just going to put like 10 or so of these guys with different guises and different outfits in there. What's happening? Core funk mod bluten wird Cintiq add keyboard focus, but don't worry about it. Well, that's okay, whatever. P to get rid of that. Actually, no, let's leave it there. And so here in the settlement, perhaps we're going to go and put a few working class people into the quarry here. Cinti bystander. Doesn't really matter where. I'm just going to go and put a couple in here. 3 maybe, 4 perhaps. That's the workforce. All sorted. Let's see if we can find suitable outfits for y'all. In that instance here. Bad guy, yeah, he can work in the quarry. You... QB businessman probably doesn't work. Cowboy might work in the quarry. Cowgirl can work in the quarry. And then didn't we have a 4th person here? Bandit, yeah, he can work in there as well. Perfect. So let's see what happens if we go and, well, we're so far away from the quarry now. We should maybe move the player start temporarily. I just want to make sure these guys are actually functioning. Yep, they are. Perfect. You, get back to work. You got to be over there somewhere. We can literally just, we can randomize their outfits as well, so that'll be fun if we were to do that. So that's background action going on here. That's nice. I thought you guys might go over here into the quarry. You guys want to work? Get in on that gold rush maybe? No? Also, just wanted to let everyone know I'm actually the sheriff, so, you know, I'm wearing the star and stuff, so I'm telling you to work. Now she's catching the shade. That's cool. That's all right. No worries. So yes, this is all that nav mesh should extend up to here. So we'll see if ever they walk in there, and I'll increase the character count as well. But then there's another area over here, and I think we should put the player start closer to where we want to observe that now, namely in here. We can maybe put some officers in there, into this area. What is it with you? Access none, trying to read property. Add keyboard focus. That's a shame because I wish I understood which thing is trying to is having a problem there. So let's see what was in the frontier pack. Oop, not materials, it's the characters here. Gold miner here. This is a guy for over there. The hunter, Mexican. We're looking more for officers here. So salesman, priest, soldier, thug. That's exciting. Thug. Let's have a look for thugs here. Yeah, thug 1. And thug 2, that's nice. My favorite thugs here. And this guy can be the soldier. And soldiers, there could be like quite a few. There. And then our player start, just so that we can actually get to see the action close up. Let's go and delete that. Let's get ourselves a new player start. Right in the middle of the camp here. There. Soldiers patrolling, salespeople walking around, thugs trying to beat people up. Perfect. We're doing all right. Possible, Beard Goblin. Possible. Is it? Oh, do you know what? Because I have a feeling it's probably because these... yes, that is probably what it is. That might well be what it is. Doesn't always happen. Does it only happen when I go and bring up the menu? Yes. Yes, that makes sense. Yes, because the keyboard focus doesn't know about these characters. So I suppose if I go and change to a character that I know, that might work. We need to amend that logic, actually. That is something we should do now, actually. If I do that, that still comes up with the error message. Yeah, that's probably because I've got a character selected that isn't part of the button. So good thinking, Batman. Let's go and let's get out of. Let's make sure that doesn't happen anymore. Game instance. Traveler female. Let's go. Let's use the sheriff. If that theory is correct, it shouldn't happen anymore, right? Menu. Yes, you're right. Beard Goblin. Fantastic. There is actually something just before we bring this all to an end. Let me just go and quickly save everything. Save all. Got quite a few commits to make. You can also, by the way, if you don't want to commit everything, you don't have to write one message for all these files. You can deselect and literally say, well, in this file, I've made that change, and then make that commit. And then in this file, I've made that change. I'm not going to do that, but you can be very granular about this. So we have done, quite a lot here. So I could potentially go and say, I could unassign. I can just deselect the things that have nothing to do with the skeleton and just make one commit for all the skeleton changes. Because these are all, there's AI behavior in here. And there's other stuff in here. This is all the skeleton stuff. Added Western skeleton to frontier characters. That's one commit. That'll take care of those files. But now we have more files in which I can now say, well, these are kind of left over, and I can now pick the ones that are AI related. Which, I suppose they kind of all are. And a background AI behavior. That's a nice little commit, because that's kind of what we've done here. No worries, Joe. Thank you so much for letting me know. And I will tell Julia that you said hi. Meet me here tomorrow, same time, same place, 4 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time, and we'll see what else we can do with this project. There's just one other thing that I'd like to do now that I've committed everything, and the game instance has that. That's cool. There is one thing that's been bugging me since yesterday, and I've had sleepless nights because of that. It's in the UI under our selection menu. Is that where that happens? Let me see. Where we query the button focus. Let me just refresh my memory. Is that here or is that in the character? Focus. Yes, there it is. We're doing this. This is a little bit expensive. So we say on event construct every 0.1 seconds, check every button and see if it has focus. If it has focus, then make the background green. If it doesn't have focus, make the background gray. And this is happening even when the menu isn't showing. We shouldn't really be doing that. We should say the timer by event. And just before we do the whole branching focus thing, we're going to say we're still going to set the timer up, but we're going to say here, is the menu actually showing? And if it is showing, then do that. If it's not showing, forget about it. Don't worry about it. Just return. It'll still do that every 1.1 seconds, but it'll return immediately without querying the amount of buttons. And especially when we have more buttons in the menu, it's going to be not so cool. So let's go and branch here. And the condition for our true branch is going to be, is the menu actually in vision? And for that, we can grab a reference to our character, get to the character, and on here we'll say, is menu, get is menu visible? And if it is visible, and that being true, then do that. And if it's not, then don't do that. So it's probably not going to make a visual difference, but it's just that extra condition that I wanted to put in there. And while I remember, let's go and do this. See if it actually still works. Menu still comes up, and it still does check the keyboard focus. Also uses with tab, shift tab, that also works. And so now when the menu is not showing, the thing isn't actually doing that. So that's computationally a little bit cheaper. There. Look at that, we've got AI behavior. That is really nice. And we've got people in the quarry here doing their thing. And what we don't currently have is, there we go, outside. Good stuff. Thug, how's it going? Oh boy. So over here we also have a navigation mesh, but we currently... Ay, caramba, what's happened here? Yeah, we should take care of that. The totem pole should not be in a ditch. And if it is in a ditch, it should really be on the floor. I'm not sure what's happening here. We should put some Native Americans in here, maybe. Because they can wander around in this area. That might be nice. Let's do that quickly. And then we'll call it a day. Get you as a bystander. Also, let's see what in the frontier pack. I think they were in the frontier pack. And what are they called? Yeah, these guys here. Native, perfect. So we have like how 5, 6 of them. 7 of them. Great. Native American female, all right. Thank you. Native American chief, all right, welcome. Face over that way. Native American elder female, all right, that's cool. Are you sure? Whoops. Yes, elder female. Gotcha. I'm just alt-click and drag, and then F to focus. And then also the end key to drop things to the floor. And then we have Native American warrior male. All right. And maybe one more. End key drops him. F focuses him. Native American warrior female. There we go. All right. Oh yeah, also the player start. Delete that. Put another one in here. See what our folks do here. Morning, I'm the sheriff. I'm just looking out for you guys. You're walking away from me. That's cool. No worries. Hey, American Indian elder guy, woman. How you doing? Does not want to talk to me. Well, there we go. That wasn't so much hard work. So we have managed to put some background AI behavior in this after all. I'm going to go and build this project and quickly upload it to the Ko-fi project. If you type !project, you'll get a link to that. And it's currently got the version from last night. This is really annoying me. I think I want to go take care of this. This no, doesn't want to do it. Crazy. Let's do that. Suppose there's also a bit of rotation necessary here. That's better. Still not ideal, but it's certainly better. Same with these pieces of wood. I mean, I suppose they're sitting on there, but it's not really, doesn't look like much there. This is a little bit better. So if you are exploring this, exclamation mark project will give that playable demo. I'm going to go and build that, upload that, but more of this will be happening tomorrow. I think. I mean, we're pretty much at the end. All we need to do is maybe add a nav mesh to the other level, to the town level, where there's currently, I don't think there's any nav meshes right there. But yeah, that's what we should do. Look at that. There's background action and everything. This is cool. Yeah, it's must be, Rod. Must be. Let's go to town quickly, see what happens there. Yeah, so town we're gonna take care of tomorrow, and maybe make some more characters selectable, add them in the menu. Just expand this a little bit, that'd be kind of cool. Join me for that if you will. Thank you so much for dropping by and giving me the pleasure of hanging out with you. It was really nice. I really enjoy afternoon hangouts. This is awesome, and you know, let's keep them going. As long as I have the energy and some creative mind thing going, I'm more than happy to, you know, keep doing this. Yes. Thank you guys. See you tomorrow, Rod, Beard Goblin, Joe, anyone else who's out there watching and who isn't in the chat anymore. That's also cool. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you hopefully tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.